Welcome to Adeptus On-Air, the show where we examine how individuals and companies make decisions that drive their business and personal success. Each week, we connect with notable professionals who pull back the curtain on the industries that Adeptus has been on the cutting edge of for the last 30 years, including music, sports, and entertainment, as well as new emerging markets.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Adeptus On-Air. I am again your host, Mike Hoffman, and today I am joined by the lovely Amanda Gabbard. Amanda, how are you today?
I am great. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
No, I'm so happy to have you here. So Amanda, and I'm going to read this because I don't want to get anything wrong, is a celebrity makeup artist, beauty expert, esthetician, if I said that right, and bridal specialist based in New York City for over 2 decades, working in the beauty and entertainment industry. She has now branched out part-time, bringing her makeup talents to Westchester, New York, and Fairfield. A sought-after beauty expert, being that she is a makeup artist as well as a licensed, she's going to make me say it again, esthetician. Amanda's work has been featured in numerous publications, including Vogue, The New York Times, Brides Magazine, Huffington Post, Apple News, Hollywood Life, and more. She's appeared as a beauty host on air with Amazon Live, Style Code Live, and Amazon Prime Day. You can also find her online giving tutorials for skincare and beauty products. She has been working with CBS, TBS, ABC, the CW, NBC, CNN, photo shoots, Fashion Week, special events. And Amanda's approach is always the same: listening to her clients and working together to enhance their own beauty, creating the best version of themselves. Having been on both sides of the camera, Amanda knows what looks good and will no doubt make her client feel comfortable while feeling and looking fantastic. Is that good?
Amanda enjoys long walks on the beach.
Right.
And her favorite flavor
This
of
is like a
ice cream.
dating show. Bachelor number 1. Please give your name.
So
Well, that was
funny.
good. So that was long. So thanks. We're out of time, but I appreciate you coming on. That was
Hey,
wonderful.
it's been great. I learned so much about you. Thank you so
Good.
much.
That's great. So, give me the scoop how you got into this. Was makeup something as a kid you just were always, infatuated with, or did this develop later in life?
Yes, didn't care too much about dolls or toys, but getting like my allowance every week, and I'd go to like Woolworths if I'm dating myself.
Sure.
And just be staring at like Bonnie Bell, Cody, Wet n Wild, and be like, what can I buy with $5?
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with the movie Grease. So
Who wasn't?
I wanted to be a pink lady. I had goals. So I'd get blue eyeshadow, red lipstick, pink blush to be like, I'm a woman.
Now you weren't you didn't say you want to be like Frenchie, I hope, because that would have been a
No.
little. Okay.
Believe it or not, I didn't want to go to beauty school. I just was
Well,
like,
all
I
right.
would just.
Well, that's why I made the connection, so I figured we can sing when we're done. We'll go through a few of the songs.
Oh my God, anytime. So I've liked makeup for my whole life, like watching my mother get ready for shows and my grandmother. I'd just be staring like, oh, I want to be a part of it. And then my family is also very theatrical and in the entertainment business. So I was a performer and I loved makeups, and they just went hand in hand. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So did you go to school to study this, or did you, when you got out of high school?
No, I went right to a conservatory, St. Louis, Webster University, a conservatory for singing, dancing, and acting.
Okay.
Very hardcore, like Fame. It was like dancing all day, dialects, Shakespeare, blah, blah, blah. It was awesome. And then I went right to New York when I was 22. And so I auditioned for acting, for everything. And then my side hustle was makeup. So
Gotcha.
people wait tables, they do temp jobs. I did so much of it. But after a while, I got more excited when I'd get a call to do makeup on a commercial than be in the commercial. I was like, ooh, yes. And I think my type A personality, I was like, I want to be able to control something of my life. Like, I love everything about the entertainment industry, but to let someone else decide every day your fate, I was like, it's good for a minute, but I want to be a part of it, but be in control of, my job.
Yeah, that is such a different mindset, being in that field and, waiting for the next job, not always knowing where the next check's coming from. And it's, obviously going this direction was definitely more stable, but it sounds like you kind of were able to stay in the entertainment field.
Yes. Like I love being a part of it. I don't need to be on screen or on, except for right now. No.
Exactly.
On stage, but I like to be where the magic happens. So backstage, whether it's TV, film, or a comedian, singer, Broadway, like fashion, it's so exciting to be like, I know what happens backstage. We're helping them get ready. And then you see the performance. It's just gives you chills every time.
So let's talk about that. So there's a big leap there because you were I'll use the term, a struggling actress trying to make do. And then you go to this side hustle to kind of keep you afloat. And then you go from a side hustle to a career.
Mm-hmm.
So how were you able to continue that and enhance it to make it an actual career?
That is a good question. I skipped over that part. So interesting. I took all the skills I had for networking, acting, auditioning, literally in like a few months. I'm like, I'm going to put a kit together. Didn't have a ton of money to do it, but I'm like, I feel like fake it till you make it. And I can put together what I can afford and made my business cards, dressed nice, went everywhere. I'm like, what are they going to do? Reject me? I got rejected all the time. So I'm like, oh, fine. And I think showing up and saying, hi, I'm a nice person. This is what I can do for you. Do you need my services? And I did Waldorf, Astoria. I was their head makeup artist because I went to the concierge and just said, do you need me? Okay, here's my card. The Pierre Hotel, my God, so many things. I would do corporate, then I would go back to working for myself as a freelance makeup artist, weddings, photo shoots, go back to, and I realized at the end, I love working with the team and collaborating, but I like to be my own boss a bit and choose the projects and choose the people to work with. And so, I think I'm a good makeup artist. Sometimes I'm great. I'm not the best, but I think the networking skills and the connections with people and, the hustling could be a bad word, a good word, but doing the work. And if it doesn't work out, someone's going to say no, someone's going to say yes. So the acting world prepared me for tons of rejection. And then the success, the highs are high and the lows are low. But I went like this immediately doing makeup, which is what I'd hoped would happen with my acting career. But I'm so happy it happened this way. So
if you want to be optimistic, you being a bad actress and getting all this rejection really helped elevate your career.
Yes. Me being mediocre, talented.
See, mediocrity has its advantages in life. And clearly for you, your mediocrity led you to where you are today.
Thank you. I'm going to take that.
I would put that on your business card. My mediocrity led me to where I am today. I think you should totally use that.
An accountant once told me.
Yes. Way back when, back in the day. So you made an interesting comment before. You said, I'm not the best. Why are you not the best? Like, why do you feel that? Is it just you just being hard on yourself?
No, I think confidence is great, but the cockiness turns me off. So if I say I'm the best, well, prove it. I think so many people are so good. And that just reminded me, another comment I always think about when going from the acting world with actors at auditions, let's say, and everyone's lined up, someone doesn't have the script and they're like, oh, I didn't know we were supposed to print that off back when you had to print things off. We didn't have phones. So my husband was an actor too. We'd be like, oh, here's our script. Why don't you borrow it? We'd be looked upon like, why would you do that? Why would you
Why
ever
are you helping the competition?
Right. And I don't think I've always had a confidence about me. I'm not inferior. Like, hey, good luck. It's not our decision who they're going to choose. So when I made that step from entertainment, acting, singing to the world of makeup, it was, I hate to say it was uglier than I ever thought it would be. The competition and the egos were like, whoa. So I found my people who we all wanted to support each other and say, hey, what are you using? I have a problem sometimes with skin. So the egos, I think, to answer your question, is what turns me off a bit. Confident, be like, but there's always room to learn. People older than you, younger than you. So I think I'm pretty good. I'm confident, but I don't want to be like, I'm the best.
So your networking thing makes a lot of sense. You went basically door to door and you knocked until you got jobs, but it's obviously even evolved past that now, where you do a bunch of things, as I read before, but you do have a significant part of your business is in the entertainment world. I've read some of the names that you've worked with, and you've definitely worked with some, high A-list people in Hollywood. So again, my next question is kind of like I said before. So how do you get to, all right, you're getting some jobs. How are you getting in front of these people? And I don't want to mention names. If you want to mention names, obviously you can. When you're working with some of these celebrities, is it you're working with them because they're hiring you one-on-one, or are you working with them through another job, just say where you're working on a film and they're in the production?
Good question. And it can be all of the above. Every situation is so different. And I worked on Al Pacino last year, which was a huge highlight of my career. It was through a friend I met 10 years ago. She's an amazing stylist, Lisa Klein, and her friend is Al Pacino's agent. He was going to give his legendary talk at 92nd Street Y, and they needed a makeup artist. So again, it's that connection. If you know, those relationships are just as important, if not more, than your talent. Who can they trust?
Agreed.
You may be really talented, but are you a narcissist and you walk in like, I know everything?
Yes.
You know, adapt to the room. You got to know, do they want to talk? Are you just a fly on the wall? Like, I think that people skills is something that is the hardest to teach. So, I think the other one is, Brooke Shields is a huge one. You know, growing up watching her in Kansas and Blue Lagoon, I'm like,
Sure.
should I be paying her to touch her face? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
just the coolest person. And I was hired to be through another TV show I did, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. I was lucky enough to do her makeup for many years.
Very funny show.
She's a highlight of my career. She's just to see how jokes are dissected and the magic behind the show. It was a total highlight. So from that, a producer asked me to do, there was a game show called Would I Lie to You? That was in England, and then it came to the States. And so I was head makeup department and hair. So I could hire my team of nice people to come work with me. Nice. And we got to meet a lot of celebrities. And they're like, Brooke Shields is coming in. You're like, it's an American treasure, but like the nicest human. Just so like, hey, where are you from? Like, you know, it's always
back to Grease. I saw Brooke Shields on Broadway in Grease.
It always comes back to Grease.
It always comes back. It's like the Kevin Bacon game, but it always comes back. We're going to tie everything back today to Grease.
That would be like a dream. I'll do your podcast every day if we can talk about Grease.
Now, what about Grease 2? Your thoughts on that? This is where I get off topic.
Oh, no, I'm so glad we met. Grease 2 is so close to my heart, just as much. I know it's a very controversial thing, but God, I loved it.
We could be friends. Oh, I know. That to me, that soundtrack's just as good.
Oh my God, Cool Rider.
Cool Rider on the ladder, Michelle Pfeiffer.
I mean, if I met her, I would drop to my knees and be like, it's Stephanie Zanoni.
Yes, no doubt.
Like, that was my dream, so yes.
Yeah, and my name's Mike, and that was Michael. There's even a song where they use the word Michael in it when he's riding the bicycle with the motorcycle at the bowling alley. Oh, yeah. Let's do it for our country. These are classics.
Who's that guy? Where did it come from?
Exactly. You don't want me to do that.
I had the tape and the CD. So
I had the cassette, and I can picture. I can fit. He's facing straight on. She's kind of looking at him, like turning her head, and you see the pink lady on her jacket. Absolutely.
There's nothing better, and that Liza Minnelli's daughter was
Lorna Loft.
This is magic right here. This is
Paulette,
magic.
I believe, was her name.
Paulette Rebchuk.
Oh, see, you're one up on me. I wouldn't have known the last name. And oh God. All right, now give me a second. Her little sister in the movie was nicknamed, I believe, Woodchuck.
Yes, I believe you're right.
I forget her name, but they called her Woodchuck. And now I know why. I never made that connection why, but it was because of the last name. There you go.
See, if we had never met, we'd go to our grave wondering what happened.
Yeah, I'm like, who's that other Grease 2 fan? Now I've met her. I've been looking for you all my life.
Well, and then I was dating my husband, and he said, you know, I played Danny Zuko in high school. I was like, I'll marry you. So let's watch the VHS grainy tape. I'm done.
I'll tell you an awful story about Grease, and this is really off topic. So a few years ago, my family and I would take cruises every year. It's like our vacation thing. We love it. We go Royal Caribbean. And, they do great productions. And, depending on what boat you're on, you'll see Hairspray, which is great. We've seen Footloose. And that one was Grease. And so we watched Grease. And when we turned to the next day, I'm sitting on deck. And I'm to my phone, again, the internet. I'm on the New York Post. And it says, headline, the front page of the New York Post. Keep in mind, it says, staffer on ship jumps overboard. One of the T-Birds who I saw 2 hours later jumped off the boat and killed himself.
What?
So they had to basically didn't do the show next couple of days. They had obviously everyone was devastated in the cast with friends. Yeah, it was I forget the character, but it was one of the guys. I think he was the guy who was saying, I spend my day mooning. That guy.
Eugene? No.
It's that song, which isn't in the movie. It's from the Broadway show.
Yes.
It's Jan and whatever, Marty or maybe Marty or something. No, Marty's the girl. I forget his name. But literally certain things stick in your head. When I think of Grease, I think of watching that production, and then, and no one heard about it. It was kept quiet. But then I saw it. Other people started saying it. And by later in the day, you heard about it all over the ship. And then they canceled the production that night because they have to kind of regroup, get the staff in the proper mindset. And they finally, by the end of the week, they were doing it again.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I mean, we could make a whole podcast out of just Grease stories.
All right. So what we need to do is we need to get some people from Greece to come on with us.
Oh, one of my friends.
Who do you know? Come on, let's go. Make this happen.
Okay. I'm going to call out all the stops here.
Let's go.
I know a girl, Allison Hall, who worked with Michael Carrington was his name in Grease too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mike, is that his name in real life? No.
Caulfield. Maxwell Caulfield.
Yes. Oh, God. I'm so glad we met. I can't say it enough. And then...
Can you get him on here?
I'd say I will do anything I can.
All right, you do that. You will co-host with me that day.
I will. And you'll be dressed as a T-Bird. I'll be a pink lady. It'll be amazing.
I would say I'd grease back my hair. Okay, that ain't happening.
There are wigs. We can do it.
You'll have to do my makeup.
And my husband kind of looks like Travolta in a way, in like a cute old school way. So yeah, we're going to figure this out.
All right.
Oh my God. Amazing.
You make that happen. I'm going to follow up with you. I have your email. I'm going to make this happen.
Oh, I keep my word. I really, especially when it comes to grease and makeup. Yeah. Like,
when you talk to people who love Disney, it's like this. There's like that Disney obsession. I feel like you have that same obsession, but with grease.
I mean, there are the depths I could just go into. Yes. Like, yeah. Well, we'll make it happen. I'll figure this out.
There you go. And I remember I was supposed to go, back in the day to see Rosie O'Donnell on Broadway when she was playing Rizzo.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember the day I went, we had her understudy. So I remember the sheer disappointment of, you want to see her play that character.
Was the understudy good?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered any other character except for she was the only person that you knew going.
Yes.
When you go to a show, it's one thing to see a show, but if you're going to a show because you want to see a celebrity in the show and they're not there, it's just kind of, And
I always feel bad for the understudies. They're like, they hear
no one wants to see me.
I know, but they're so ready to go and they've been prepped for so long. Like, good for them.
Well, it's funny. I'm taking my wife into the city this weekend. It's our 25th anniversary next week, so we're going in. I'm taking her to some shows, and I'm actually taking, which she doesn't even know, but this will air after that, so it's fine. And like, who are we kidding? Like, she listens. But anyway, she's a big fan of Modern Family on TV.
Yeah.
And we're going to see Little Shop of Horrors because Haley Dunphy is the lead in Little Shop of Horrors.
Amazing.
So I'm taking her because it is always neat to see someone you watch on TV kind of live in theater. So
yes. Oh, that's a great show. It's one of my favorites
too. It's a great show. Great soundtrack and so forth.
Love it.
But so we're gonna see Haley Dunphy sing a little Suddenly Seymour.
It's
so it'll be kind of
when you see someone in real life.
Right.
And performing. It's great. We did my husband was just in a production of a concert version of Little Women in the City on Monday.
Yeah.
And Kate Baldwin was in it. These amazing people, Kennedy Coggle. So it's funny, like he thought he was going to get out of the business and they kept pulling him back in. So again, like seeing these people and they're belting it out. And I was just joking with Kennedy, the lead who plays Joe. I'm backstage and I'm like, the coach in Rocky, when they get off in the ring and she's singing her heart out and belting and hitting these notes and crying, she comes back and we're like blowing her nose, wiping her tears off, putting concealer on her lip. You go out there, kid, you get them, you show them what you're made of. So it's so funny to be behind the scenes of that. Like I enjoy it so much. So I like to be watching the show and just as much behind. It's like,
I've always enjoyed documentaries, like behind the scenes of anything, whether it's a sporting event, you see the pregame talks underneath or a show. And sometimes you'll see like these things on TikTok now where, before the curtain call, the main lead has like 40 seconds to get off stage left, climb up to come out of the ceiling in a totally different outfit. And as they're running, there's someone behind them putting a jacket on and someone else is doing the hair and everyone's waiting at the certain corner. And they know this, if they don't make this perfect, they're never going to make it.
Like, that's so exciting. Like, that could be a show in and of itself. I want to hear all the weird stories that happened backstage. I mean, it's just so exciting because that's not what normal people hear. We just say, oh my God, it's so beautiful. But I know what happens and I'm like, oh, it's fascinating. It's also like that magic that like, back on stage, everything's fine.
Yeah, well, you go to see a show, you're only looking at this one little box of a stage.
Oh
and
yeah.
all this other stuff that happens behind. It's fascinating.
They're like the shirt's held together with like a paper clip, or like don't move.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's funny. About 10 years ago, I took my daughter. It was a big Dancing with the Stars fan. I knew someone in makeup there. Well, I didn't know. I knew someone who knew someone. So we got, to go see it. And then because of that, we went back afterwards, which was great because there was no other people there, but basically us and, the crew, the dancers, and the celebrities. So it was great. She got pictures with all them. And one of the dancers is talking to her. They were all super friendly with her. She was 10 at the time. And my daughter's like, oh my God, I love your diamond bracelet. And she pulls it off and says, let me show you something. It was cardboard with stickers all around it.
Wow.
And she says, here, you can have it. So she gave her diamond bracelet, which was
See,
great. I'm sure she still has it somewhere, but literally the diamond bracelet was cardboard and stickers.
I love it. I love it. It's
But
just
on TV, it looked like
hodgepodge.
probably a $250,000 diamond bracelet.
That is so cool. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my mom loves Dancing with the Stars. Oh my gosh, yeah. Whenever I'm visiting in Texas, we just
Yeah.
watch that and American Idol, which is in heaven.
American Idol, I've kind of lost interest over time just because nothing ever happens with them. Early on, they became stars. Now I don't even know who wins
Me
it, so it doesn't even
too.
matter.
Like all we really remember is like Carrie Underwood and Adam Lambert.
Okay, Kelly Clarkson,
Oh,
for me,
Kelly
was
Clarkson. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but you're right. After that, Jennifer Hudson, who became huge, but she didn't even win it. She went home so
Yeah.
early. So,
So interesting. I know.
see, I told you we might get off topic. I told you that tends to happen.
Oh, everything we're talking about gives me life. Like
See?
I love all these topics. I love it.
Well, I do have a question about something you said before, though, so I'm going to turn it back on, but it's kind of unrelated. So, when you find out you're working on Al Pacino,
Mm-hmm.
is it another job for you, or in your head, like leading up to that, are you kind of freaking out because when you talk A-lister,
Mm-hmm.
he's A plus 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 in terms of the history of entertainment. So, are you actually have anxiety, or is it just another job?
I'm really focused. I'm excited, and I want to make sure that I show up, I do a good
Mm.
job, and then afterwards, usually the next day, I'm like, I remember being a little girl in Kansas, like
Yeah.
and watching The Godfather in our small blocks TV set, and now I'm like, please look up, please. I'm telling him what to do. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm looking into his eyes, like I'm very like in the moment,
Yeah.
done, and then afterwards, I'm like, wow, life is so weird, but it's so interesting. Then I think one of the coolest thing was the talk he gave, which I know he does it a lot, but I think he should just literally tour all the time, telling stories about The Godfather,
Mm-hmm.
about Scarface, and so self-depreciating and
Yeah.
funny, and doesn't
Mm-hmm.
take himself too seriously.
Right.
You
Right.
could hear a pin drop. It was just amazing.
But so as you're doing it, you're not like shaking like this, like
No, I said the only time I did feel like sweaty was and I'm saying it because they're interesting stories, not because I'm like trying to be like, oh, celebrities, but
no.
Kamala Harris,
Mm-hmm.
before she announced that she's going to be vice president, she was on a full frontal with Sam B, and I got to do her makeup, and the when she walked into the room, her presence was just like,
Yeah.
just incredible. You can't even describe it. And then with like some Secret Service around, and we're putting eyelashes, I thought, oh my God, if I poke her in the eye,
Yeah.
but she's like so nice and so pretty.
Yeah.
But that's a time when I thought, oh my gosh, like there's so many people around, like make sure I do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I usually am pretty cool and calm. It's just afterwards you think, wow, never thought that would happen. But
Yeah. And that you're placing that one away in the memory bank. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, would you
So
love to get a gig like with a network or with a show where it's a steady job, like we're doing 20 episodes? Is that something you would strive to do, or do you like more of the
absolutely.
freelance?
I love all of it. So that's why I choose to not be in the union. And
Mm-hmm.
because as an actor, I was in the union, but I choose to kind of do my own thing so I can take whatever job I want. I love that. I love to do like a series. I love to do fashion and creative shoots with models like I did last week. You think like this is when I grew up looking at magazines, we didn't have the internet. So it was
Yeah.
like 17 magazine and Cosmopolitan. And
Mm-hmm.
to create that sort of thing is just like, I can't believe we got to do this. And it's really great. Like even doing weddings, it's a very intense job, but and I teach makeup too. So I'll have like a 15-year-old, I'll have a 60-year-old talking about their skin and making them feel good. And it's at the end of the day, it's giving that person confidence. So
Yeah.
if I'm the makeup person and you're nervous and you're going to perform, when I walk in, you want to be, oh, I'm so glad you're here. What do you need? I can get you some water, calm you down, give you a little shoulder massage, make you feel pampered. So my job is to make them feel confident and relaxed. So I think I like that. It's makes me feel good.
So moving away from what we were talking about before. So as what I'll call a makeup consultant, for lack of a better word. So you deal with people of all ages and so forth, like you said. Do you like kind of getting with the younger kids? When I say younger, I'm not talking 8 years old, but like the teenagers, girls in their early 20s who are at the beginning of really trying to identify their, and again, this is coming from a girl dad of a 18 and 23-year-old. So, the different makeup things, skin products and all that,
Okay.
I've seen it all at this point.
This is such a good question. They make me more nervous than the A-list celebrities. The 15 to 18, they know so much now.
Yeah.
With YouTube, with TikTok, Instagram, they know all the products. They showed me their makeup bag. Yeah. It's like the most amazing products. They know about skincare. So I always feel like they're like, all right, lady, see what you're made of.
What do you know? Okay.
What do you know, lady?
Yeah. Yeah.
So honestly, it intimidates me so much. And if I kind of win them over and they respect me, I'm like, I won. Because
they like me. They really like me.
They like me. They really like me.
The popular kids like me.
I am cool. Like I'll wear black and be like, yeah, I'm so cool. Like
whatever.
Those are the people who I want to impress.
Yeah.
And they're hard. They're tough. They do not care. But then I taught a seminar of Sephora kids, which is something I had never heard of. You probably know.
Well, I know Sephora. I don't know the phrase Sephora kids, if that's something.
I didn't either. I have this great group of mom friends here in Connecticut, and they're like, will you be the cool New York City makeup artist? Please come teach them about skincare, but don't say things like skin cancer. Be cool. So they're using retinol. They're using all of this hardcore stuff on their skin. They're spending so much money on anti-aging things. So I researched it so I wouldn't have talked to them. And I felt like I won the lottery when I left because I got their respect.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's a thing. So that's a really interesting question. I think I enjoy people like, I don't know, the young people intimidate me. That's what I'll say. They really do.
But, yeah. Well, no. I get it, and I imagine working with them, you might get a lot of they want something or they describe what they want, and you're like, oh God, no, that's either not going to work on you or that's way too much, that kind of thing, and that's probably a tough balancing act because you're hired to do their makeup, but you're also not mom to say, you're not leaving the house looking like that,
Yes. So the moms want me to say, you know what, I like that. Let's try this. It is a very fine line though. It's very intimidating. And it's funny because also with Instagram, everything is so photoshopped and so perfect. If no matter what age they are, all clients, if they don't look like that photo, they're like, you're not a very good makeup artist or hairstylist, or everything is not real. So to try to have them understand that is really, really tough.
Yeah.
It's like they've smoothed out all the pores and all the fine lines if it's people who are above the age of 40. So that's a really hard thing. They'll show a picture of J-Lo and be like, I want her natural look.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's an interesting sentence because
her natural look had 47 people working on it.
Yeah. So the reality is really tough. I have my hairstylist friends say if they're doing a hairstyle, they're like, oh, it doesn't look like the photo. They have like 4 pounds of extensions in there. So, it's tough, but yeah.
And I think now with social media, you kind of pegged it, and you probably see it a lot more with your celebrities right now, is, when there's paparazzi at every corner, you almost have to, I don't want to say look your best at all times, but you almost can't look like you just rolled out of bed.
Yes. Because even if it's not paparazzi, it's someone with a phone and they're going to put it online.
And they're going to put it online.
It's tough. I feel bad. It's a tough career they have. Yeah.
Now, so you've been doing it, the makeup for a while. So probably maybe when you started out, social media really wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
But now it is. So has that become one of your biggest challenges as your career's evolved, social media?
I think it's been the best thing for resume building and for instant gratification. No one says, send me your resume anymore. So I think you can show your work. It's great for your networking, for showing what you can do and showing your personality. But the Photoshop has really hindered what's real and what's not. So I appreciate the makeup artist who will post pictures and say, this is what it looks like with the filter. And then when you get in there, this is what it looks like in real life.
Yeah.
So I think it's both. There's more opportunity now with TikTok and Instagram to promote yourself. And you always feel like, God, you feel like a narcissist, but that's the only way you get jobs now. And it's funny that I do see let's say like a 22-year-old who's a world famous makeup artist, but they're doing it on themselves every day, online, and they're really good at it. But people like, in our 40s, my girlfriends and people in the industry were like, it's impressive to us when we know you've carried those bags up 6 flights of stairs. You're in the subway. You don't know who you're going to meet. Adapt to their personality. Do what they want. The energy, like, it's a lot of work. It's very strenuous. I think people are like, oh, you got to play with makeup all day. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's people skills too that, again, you can be so talented, but if you walk in with an attitude and you're not going to get hired.
Or it's how you respond to the person you're dealing with who has an attitude. So it's not even you. You also got to know, all right, it's kind of like a waitress. You could be a great waitress. Someone could be giving you crap the entire meal. And how are you going to respond?
Yeah. I always joke that my parents are all psychiatrists, like literally dad, stepmom, and stepdad. They're all psychiatrists. So I would say, well, I am too, with a makeup brush, because that's how we adapt. What do you need? Okay, I understand. It's actually how you keep yourself sane and also give the client what they want. We're in customer service at the end of the day,
Well, it's the same with accountants too. I mean, I'll deal with clients that are going through a death of a loved one, or going through a divorce, or going through a loss of a job, and we're having discussions with them. And it's not just, you can't just boil down to money and tax effects and budgets and stuff like that. It's, you got to be a person to them, and I don't want to just say show you care, but actually care, because it's one thing to show you care. But it's a second thing to actually care and to be empathetic. And, if you're doing makeup for someone, I would think most of the time it's for a big event. It's a wedding, it's a graduation or something. So they have their own level of anxiety that's coming along with it. And I think the more, like you said, whether it's the massage or whatever, to kind of calm down. I got you. You're going to look beautiful after this. We're going to figure this out together, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, okay, the flowers didn't arrive. So-and-so's plane was, it's a lot of things to manage. And sometimes I'll take, let's say, the bride or someone out for the event, and there's a room full of people. I'll say, oh, I need the lighting better. I'm going to move her over here just so she can have some quiet time. Like, I feel very protective over them. Or if they're going to go on stage and they have this big performance or concert, whatever they need. If they want to chit chat about silly stuff and get their mind off it, or want to be completely silent. Yeah. It's managing people.
Yeah. So how would you like to see the next, 5 years of your career?
Oh, God. Good. Well, Grease 1, Grease 2, then some more Grease, and then some more Grease.
I want to star in Grease 3 as the mother of Stephanie Zanoni.
I'm actually going to quit makeup after this podcast and go back to acting so I can do
I'm going to write Grease 3, actually, starting tonight.
That's true. God, we have to really follow up on that.
Well, you have to follow up on that because you're the one making it happen.
Okay, no, I will. I'll be like, I'm a very important makeup artist. Would you like to talk about Grease for hours?
Well, he's probably like, you know what? That was the worst thing I've ever done. I'm disconnecting. I want nothing to do with it.
Well, and I'm like, it's the best thing. It's like a cult following. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I gotta stop you there. Generally, when something says it's a cult following, it's because it's not very good. Great movies don't have cult followings.
Okay, we will edit that part out.
Michelle, get that out. But
Michelle?
That's generally, if something is a cult following, there's a reason, because they all get these people that are just obsessed with it for some reason.
You're right. So what do we call it? A people who have good
I think the only thing you call it is, movie mastery, and one of the greatest film events of all time.
I mean, when I was with Pacino, I'm like, why didn't you take Grease 2? Like, you made
he couldn't have been the drunk teacher who fell into the water at the end
because
he was all drugged up.
I love you so much. The fact that you know this.
Oh yeah, if I tell you I know it, I know it. I'm not lying to you.
Oh my God, you were the one in my dreams.
Oh, see, I'll do the next line. See, don't do that. See, I know the next line, and I wanted to tell you time and again. See, yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah.
Dying.
I totally have it. Yeah.
This may be one of the best days of my life. I mean,
I get that a lot. Yeah. Actually, usually what I get is, please don't play this podcast. That was awful. So it's nice to hear something so refreshingly different.
My God, they'll be like, we don't know what they said, but they did the duet of Grease too.
You know what I like about this? This is going to be good because what Michelle does besides posting the podcast is she takes little clips that are good and we turn them into reels and we just pop those. There are like so many opportunities for reels here.
I mean, our careers are going to explode. What am I going to do the next 5 years? I'll be working with you every day. That's what I'm going to do.
This is what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. This could be a future thing right here. I totally see it.
There's karaoke that can be involved. There's a lot.
All right. So what's your go-to karaoke song? Is it from Grease?
No.
Mine either. Now, if you say it's the same song, we're going to have problems, but it won't be the same song.
I doubt it. My two go-tos are from Heart.
No, okay. No.
Get You Alone.
Okay.
And Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
Oh, okay. That's
so I'm assuming yours are different.
My main, well, by myself, it used to be Kokomo.
Good one. Mm-hmm. Nice and easy, crowd pleaser.
Crowd pleaser, right. I like to get people jumping in with me so I don't have to be heard the entire time by myself. And everyone knows Kokomo.
Yeah, what's your other one?
And then I can do the boring stuff like Sweet Caroline, but that's a boring one. Everyone knows that.
But a crowd pleaser. It makes you feel
But a crowd
good.
pleaser.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kokomo, love that movie too. So kind of,
Yeah, I like this. We can do like 80s movies.
80s movie, yeah. All right. So really fast, we have a few minutes left. So talk to me about some of your growing up favorite movies that might not be other people's favorite movies. That they're kind of like, or they can be other people's favorite movies.
Oh my gosh. Girls Just Want to Have Fun with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay.
And Helen Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the Little Shop of Horrors movie with Rick Moranis.
Speaking of that, Steve, yeah.
Grease.
What about Some Kind of Wonderful?
Yeah, I did. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
There was two, and I'm forgetting the name. There was the one with Eric Stoltz and Leah Thompson.
Yep.
I think that might be that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the one with Patrick Dempsey, where...
Oh, Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love. There you go. I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah. And her name was Amanda. Why do you think I dyed my hair blonde? I have goals.
And she died.
I know.
So
what
sad.
Should I have?
I don't know. But it was young.
She's beautiful. She was awesome.
She was beautiful.
Patrick Dempsey was amazing. The dancing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. With the ant dance or something. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think part of the reason I like Cocktail so much was I was a big Elizabeth Shue fan.
Who wasn't? Yeah.
Yeah, moving from Karate Kid to Adventures in Babysitting right over to Cocktail. It's like she kind of grew up right,
Babysitting. I mean, there's nothing like the blues number in Adventures in
Babysitting.
Right,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Babysitting Blues.
I mean, I will talk to you every day if this is what we can talk about.
Yeah, of course we can talk about it. You're going to be a weekly spot now.
Please.
Michelle, cancel all other guests for the next 3 weeks. Yeah.
I'll be like, perfect. Someone like Adrian Zemed will just come into the frame.
The sad thing is I know who you're talking about when you say Adrian Zemed.
That's no one else does listening. If they do,
no one else does.
No one
all
else
right.
does.
What TV show after Grease 2 did he star in for several years?
Oh, I can't think of the name.
And why? What was his occupation in it?
A cop.
He was a cop. Very good. And now I'm nervous. I'm getting the wrong show, but I think it's the right show. I want to say T.J. Hooker.
A hard maybe.
But he was definitely a cop. Yes.
We're gonna need a.
But none of the other ones in that movie really ever panned out. I don't think there's anyone else besides him and Lorna Luft really never did anything.
She didn't. I'm trying to think.
The last time I saw Lorna Luft, she was sitting next to Liza Minnelli. I think it was at the Grammys, or not the Grammys, the Academy Awards. Ellen DeGeneres was hosting, and Ellen DeGeneres made a comment to Liza Minnelli, and she goes, "Excuse me, sir, that's the best Liza Minnelli impersonator I've ever seen." And he was actually talking to Liza Minnelli, and you see, she seemed annoyed. But Lorna Luft was sitting next to her, found it hysterical.
Oh, you would think that Liza Minnelli would get that sense of humor at this point.
Yeah, she generally, well, again, I don't know her too well, but she seemed like she didn't seem really happy by the comment. Thank you, sir.
Oh my gosh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think anyone else, what is the guy's name who said, "We'll do it for our country wants us to."
Yeah, no, he was nothing, she was nothing.
He was off Broadway for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, when we get the cast reunited, we'll ask.
Well, yeah, that's what we should do. You're going to somehow advocate for a Grease 2 reunion on here.
And they just sit in their homes. They don't have to go anywhere.
No, and I'm going to assume we're going to not get Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm going to accept that right now.
Let's
Thinking no. Now, you can make that happen. Oh, wait a minute. Frankie and Johnny was Michelle Pfeiffer and Al Pacino.
Okay.
You have an in.
I accept the challenge. Okay. This is what the next 5 years will be consumed of.
Well, to answer your question, your next 5 years will be to get us a 1 hour podcast with the cast of Grease 2.
Now I have direction for my life. I was kind of like, oh, but now I know.
Yeah. My kids say, what do you want to do going forward? It's going to be now I want a Grease 2 podcast. Yeah.
God, the fact that you said the teacher falling into the pool literally just gave me life. Yeah. No one knows that.
That's when Balmucci jumped off the roof on his motorcycle.
This is just the best. And what does she say when she's eating the fries with Michael Carrington they're talking about Shakespeare?
I can picture it. They're in the diner and they're talking about a cheeseburger. And it's when he says she wants more and she's like, no, you don't understand. You don't get it. Oh, what does she say? Oh, it's going to bother me that I don't know this, but I can totally picture what you're saying. Like, I can picture the scene.
She's like, how can we
They walk out, and then the T-Birds are there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You give back the jacket. I remember the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to bother me. What did she say?
Oh, God, now I'm blanking. It
must be a question, not know the answer.
I did, and then I got distracted by another part of it.
They're talking about what they put the fries on. Isn't it like, are they talking about...
How can I burger with no ketchup? How do I give fries with no ketchup? And then...
Oh, it's like double. He orders something and she says double something.
Oh, my God. This is like... I'm actually sweating of joy right now. And what is the word she writes on her notebook when he's helping her write? And she goes, oh, the teacher's going to flip.
Oh, with the paper when she's helping her... Something. It was something like it was like sultry. It was
incestuous.
Incestuous, yeah. I knew it was that kind of word. And she's gonna flip when she reads this beep. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is just wonderful. And could you?
Which was your last question? Which was your favorite season? I'll be your girl for all seasons.
Oh, I knew what you meant.
I'm sorry.
Oh. Believe me.
I didn't mean to offend you with the follow-up.
Oh, no, thank you. I'll let that go by. I'm trying to think. I'll Be Yours in Summer was kind of a dud. Making Love and Getting Tan. I would say when Zanoni did her Christmas one.
Yeah, but that one really never finished. I liked Fall. When you fall, then you'll fall for me. September can be. Finish it. Heavenly.
Say you'll fall for me.
And you see the backstage thing because you see the two T-Birds run off and then they're in the corner quickly changing their outfits. And they have like 2 seconds. They quickly run out to open the doors.
And I know we haven't seen this in the last decade, but we still
You're watching it tonight, aren't you?
Oh, I totally am.
Yeah.
Oh, because we have a new podcast coming up with Grease 2. I have to brush up on this.
We have to brush up. I'm going to have to watch it once again, too. I'm going to learn all the words. Yeah, I'm going to have to order a T-Bird jacket online so I can wear it during the podcast.
No, me too. I'm going to get my old Halloween pink lady's jacket out. I'll get my blonde wig. We'll do the whole thing.
Yeah. You'll have to do my makeup, like I said, because you'll have to give me hair.
Totally fine. I'll have my husband play both Adrian Zemed and Travolta. We'll just kind of go, aha, don't make me laugh. Aha.
Yeah, so you get your husband involved. My wife will want no part of this. I'll just tell you right now.
My sister from Texas will Zoom her in. She'll, and
more than
we can never bowl again in our lives in a bowling alley without saying, let's bowl. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, that's one of the many reasons why I don't bowl.
Me too, because nothing will ever be as wonderful.
No, I mean, I go to the bowling alley, I expect song to break out, and it rarely does.
How come no one's running down the alley, sliding his knees at me, going, hey, Paulette, take a look over here.
Oh, you're king. Yeah, there they go. Yeah. Hey,
Michelle,
Johnny. Yeah.
Michelle, who I don't know, I hope you're enjoying this.
Yeah. Michelle's like, I cannot put this on the air. Yeah. But it's all good. Oh, by the way, for people listening, obviously it won't air when it airs, but today is Michelle's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Michelle.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Michelle. By the time this airs, it will no longer be your birthday, but at least today it is your birthday.
Oh my God. Well, she was very helpful with the emails. so professional, so on top of it. I need a Michelle in my life.
Yeah, well, she keeps these podcasts going, so lots of props to Michelle for that.
That's awesome.
But listen, to say I've enjoyed this is an understatement. Tell everyone listening how they can follow you on like social media, websites, etc.
Yes, so my Instagram is Amanda S. Gabbard, Gabbard. It's Gabbard if you're fancy, but it's Amanda S.
I'm
Gabbard.
going to follow you.
And AmandaGabbardBeauty.com. Yeah, LinkedIn is fine, but usually like Instagram is the thing I do most of all. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, you will have a new follower in about a minute and a half.
Oh.
So thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. It was great talking to you. Nothing but continued success, and I will see you in a few weeks on the Grease 2 Reunion podcast.
I'm on it.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Adeptus On-Air. If you like this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. The views and opinions by the podcast speakers and guests are solely their own and do not reflect the opinions of Adeptus. This podcast provides general information only and is not intended to constitute advice.